Sometimes, the loudest battles we fight happen inside our own minds. This is a story of a young woman named Mira, someone who could think a little too much about everything. It's late at night. Rain taps gently on the window of Mira's bedroom. She lies in bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind spinning nonstop. What if I failed tomorrow? What if I said the wrong thing today? What if? The more she tries to stop thinking, the louder her thoughts become. She glances at the clock. It's 2:47 a.m. Mira didn't know it yet, but she wasn't tired from her day. She was tired from her thoughts. The next morning, Mira enters a small, cozy coffee shop, looking completely exhausted. Her friend, Lina, is already there and waves her over with a warm smile. "Mira," Lina says, her eyes full of concern. "You look like you fought a dragon." Mira manages a half smile. "I did." In my head. They sit down at a quiet corner table. Lina leans in. "Tell me. What's going on?" Mira lets out a deep sigh, the weight of her sleepless night heavy in her voice. "I don't know. I just think too much. About everything. My brain never stops." "This," she says, pointing to the drawing, "is your mind." She then draws small circles inside it. "And these are your thoughts. But when you think too much, you try to fit all of your problems inside the jar at once." Mira looks at the crowded jar on the napkin. It feels familiar. "So how do I stop?" she asks, her voice barely a whisper. "Simple," Lina replies gently. "You empty the jar, not by solving everything, but by solving one thing at a time." She takes the napkin and writes down 4 simple questions. What can I control? What can't I control? What truly matters today? And what can wait for tomorrow? Lina looks at Mira, her gaze steady and kind. Overthinking happens when you live in the future or in the past, but peace lives in the present. Mira looks at the napkin quietly, the words sinking in. The very next day, Mira decides to try something new. She wakes up, sits by the window, and breathes slowly. She's learned the 1-minute rule. Whenever her mind starts racing, she gives herself exactly 1 minute to pause, breathe, and just observe her thoughts. Instead of drowning in them, she closes her eyes. She breathes in for 4 seconds, holds it for 2, and then breathes out slowly. "Right now, I'm safe," she whispers to herself. "Right now, I'm airy." Slowly, almost magically, her thoughts begin to quiet down. A few days later, Mira buys a small notebook. Every time an overwhelming thought appears, she writes it down. She didn't try to solve every thought right away. She simply released it onto the page because the mind holds fewer burdens when the paper carries some of them. We see the pages of her notebook filling with words, but with each entry, Mira's smile grows a little lighter, her posture a little taller. One sunny afternoon, Mira and Lina are walking together in a park, surrounded by the gentle sounds of nature. Mira begins, a newfound confidence in her voice. "I still think a lot, but now I don't get stuck in my thoughts. I just let them come and go." Lina smiles. "That's the secret. Thoughts are like clouds. They're only heavy when you try to hold them." Mira looks up at the sky, watching the white, fluffy clouds slowly drifting by, changing shape as they move. "I guess I don't need to fight my thoughts," she realizes aloud. "I just need to stop giving them so much power." Overthinking never disappears forever. It's a part of being human. But like Mira, we can learn to quiet the noise. We can learn to separate the real, tangible problems from our imagined fears. And we can learn to breathe whenever the mind becomes too loud. Because peace doesn't come from having no thoughts. Peace comes from learning to let them go. If this story resonated with you, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. Remember to subscribe for more content that helps you find your inner peace. Thanks for watching.